What I want, peeps, what I want. Good morning, good morning. It's almost afternoon though. I've had a lazy morning. I couldn't help myself. I've been at it. It's just like I said in the week, I'm just tired. So I thought I'm going to have a lie-in today. And I kind of did and caught up on what I was doing. But, do you know, this week I'm getting the message that some of us are still quite bitter. Some of us still need to forgive. Some of us still need to actually relinquish. And I know I'm certainly one of those people. Do you know, for some reason this week, and I don't know if this is happening to you as well, I got really snappy with people and I don't understand it. This customer service person who had, it was not their fault, but I got outraged and upset. And then I even snapped at a dinner lady at college for no goddamn reason. And I thought, Valerie, why did you do that? And I'm just thinking, I wonder if it's still this bloody retrograde, bringing up and drugging up, putting me through the dark night of the soul, questioning certain things. And you know what I've come to the conclusion of? It's like there's still things that are bottled up. There's still things that we all bottle up. And we've got to release it and we've got to let it go because it's just going to cause problems. It's almost like a grieving process. And there's still things that we need to let go. It's like the dark night of the soul. So even though this looks like a tarot card, this batch is called the Nero Tarot. And I don't know if you were interested, but I did actually do a review and I put it up on Patreon as well as on my thing. But people ignored it. But these cards are specifically for self-care as well. And so I said to Spirit, what is this bitterness about? And when I drew the card, I couldn't believe it. I said, Spirit, stop dropping the mic on me. It's about heartbreak, sadness, bitterness. And I'm going to read what it says in here. Firstly, the meaning of the card as they pertain it to this deck. Okay. And then I'm going to give you the self-care that it says about this because it's so important. It just says, so the meaning says, just like a storm, pain passes if we're willing to let it. But as they say, you've got to feel it to heal it. And that means facing your loss, your sorrow, and the source of your suffering. Give yourself time to grieve, but know that staying angry isn't necessarily going to work for you. Do you know, I knew there was a reason why I quit, because I just felt snappy this week. Okay. Going to work for you. You're being invited to strengthen and solidify a part of yourself related to belief and communication through healing. Remember, it takes the clouds to really know the sun. So the self-care message that goes with this card is set a goal for working on forgiving someone, even if it's just yourself. Work on simply processing. Notice where you're at right now and where you want to be. Stay present with your current feelings and forgive yourself for any undesirable ones. Know they are an essential part of the journey too. Yeah, they're here to teach us lessons. But, you know, it's all well and good learning the lesson, but we've got to learn to let it go too. And that's part of the lesson. We've got to learn to let it go, release it and move on. And that means forgiving. And sometimes you feel like you can't forgive. You just feel the thing. You say to yourself, I forgive, but I'm never going to forget. Is that part of the forgiving though? Forgetting what they did. I'm not saying for 1 minute that you should forget what they did. But you have a choice. You can either go back to the nonsense or you can forgive and walk away. And, you know, there's choices. There's choices and actions mean consequences. One of the spiritual laws of oneness. I say get into it because if you really follow the code, it's a moral code that it balances you out. And so we all still need balancing, but we can be mindful about the balancing and we know that we've got to grieve. And it was only yesterday I played some music around about the time that I had troubles with somebody and I really welled up and I really wanted to cry and I said, no, stop it, Val. Because I know I still, even though I say I've forgiven something, I still haven't. And it still bothers me to this day. And I'm trying my hardest to release it. And even though I've said, do you know, I have kind of released it in a sense. And I'm guessing you guys are, and if I'm going through this, you guys are definitely going through this as well, that you just say you forgive, but you haven't really. Because every time you think of a person, every time you think about a situation, it makes you angry, it makes you upset, it makes you bitter, it makes you angst, it makes you think, what the hell was I thinking? And that just tells you that you still have some of that. Piece of that is still bothering you. Piece of that is still inside of you. Piece of that you still haven't forgiven. So I'm going to work on that, and I hope you'll work on that with me too, people. And I'm going to find ways to find forgiveness. But one of the books I have is called The Road Less Travelled, and I think that is about a psychiatrist's benefit. So that's the next book I'm going to read after because I know once My Soul Just Opened Up is nearly finished, and we're down to like 6 days or 7 days now. I think we're down to 6 days now. So when that's finished, I'll start on The Road Less Travelled, because that will help us for forgiveness. But even I have to go back and look at it again, because there's a chapter in there about one day my soul just opened up, and it's the forgiveness one I need to be reading, but also I need to be reading boundaries, because it's all well and good forgiving, but you have to set boundaries for these things not to happen again. So these are the things that we should be looking at. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and let you go. And I hope that makes sense. And I wasn't rambling too much, but I really felt it this morning. I thought I'm going to bring it to the peeps, because when I saw this card drop out, I was like, what the hell? I literally picked out the card that I should, the sadness, the bitterness, the things we're holding on to. So anyway, I'm going to let go. I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to release. And I'm waiting for the next full moon, because I thought I was over certain things. But I guess the bitterness and anger and all that kind of thing wells up at certain times of the day. And funny enough, this week was the new moon, wasn't it? And we're still in these retrogrades. So it's like people are coming back, communication, all this kind of nonsense, it whips up all the dark things that you need to actually let go of. Until we can let go of these things, it's just going to cause us anguish and problems, and it comes out externally. These things work their way out externally, and it's for you to recognize it. Anyway, I'm going. Bye.